A European champion of last season, and Tima Tureyeva now, the second of the two Russians, European champion in 2014 and a double world silver medalist, out here for her first attempt at 97 kilos, which would put her into the overall lead in the first half of the competition. And Mikhaila, not surprisingly, not a problem.
Not a problem at all. She's quite a bit under best here. There's been reports of her doing 105, 110 in training. She's looking on fire at this year's European Championships. That 97, absolutely in the groove. Absolute perfection.
So Tureyeva ahead of Hulpan of Romania, and then Tatiana Alieva at the moment in the bronze medal position, ahead of Irene Martinez, who lifted for Spain in the B group earlier in the day and collected 95 kilos. And we'll bring you up to date with the new rule arrangements when we get a moment. But Alieva now coming up for her second attempt. She's going for 98 kilos. And according to those new rules, she would be first to this weight, which would put her into not only first place, but force the others to go higher than 98.
Well, she's on her toes, though.
Alieva from Siberia, not too far away from Novosibirsk. She's the least experienced of the Russians, in as much that she was a junior European champion some 5 years ago, but then got married and was out of the sport, only came back a year ago. She's got a personal best of 105, so that was rather disappointing. And the bar at 98 kilos. Just having a look at the other weights. Tureyeva, who you saw as you joined us, 101 kilos. She's posted for her second attempt. And still in the wings, Loredana Toma of Romania, who posted 100 as her entry weight. And just a quick word from Mikhaila, as you see the rankings as they stand at this particular moment. And Sarah Davis missed 87, got 87, then went 90. But she's changed categories, she's had problems.
Well, she's had an injury last year, a back injury that's put her out for a good few months, so it's nice to see her back on the international platform and lifting pretty well. 90 is not a bad weight. Has a personal best of 93. Had a bit of a nervous start here with the 87, missed it, as you said, and then got the 87 and 90. So a good recovery in 7th place at the moment, still one lifter yet to start.
So, third and final attempt for Tatiana Alieva. 98 kilos on the bar. Currently lying in the bronze medal position. Better. Yeah, much more precise.
Yeah, it was. No problems with this attempt. Going to be kicking herself for a wasted previous lift, but hey, look at the position here. Nice off the floor. Lands this time on a solid base. Flat feet were nice and flat. Really good extension at the hip and the knee.
Couldn't have been easy. That junior European title she won at 58 kilos was back in 2011. Then you heard a big break, you know, what, with 2017, almost 6 years. She's only been back in the sport in a year. Never easy, that.
No, it's a challenge to come back. You're kind of competition rusty.
So this is now Romania, and this is Loredana Elena Toma. And she's had a couple of good competition successes in recent times over the last 3 to 4 months. More of that in a moment. 100 kilos, opening account for the Romanian. More to come, I think.
Absolutely. Very, very strong in the legs. She's got a great reputation, a great history of competitions. But if we watch the technical precision here on her first attempt, sets herself chest high, good extension, lightning quick underneath the bar.
Yeah, twice she's been a European silver medalist at 58 kilos. She's been a European youth champion back as far as 2012, but she's been progressing, and most recently in Eilat in December, she was a European silver medalist there in the under-23 division. And Turdieva now back out on the stage, putting the bar to 101 kilos. Now, because Toma got 100, to get ahead, it's nothing to do with body weights anymore. It's all about getting to the heavier weight.
Well, a little short on the extension. It's not the lifter we are expecting to see. She's normally much sharper through the middle part of the lift, and if you watch the replay, you'll see she doesn't quite get the extension at the hip. A little short, leaves the bar in front.
We haven't seen her on a competition stage since the World Championships in Houston. She didn't make the Olympics, and she didn't actually compete in the National Championships. Alieva, her teammate, actually won the National Championships this season. So both of the Russians with a different pathway to the Europeans, and that will give some confidence to Loredana Toma, won't it? Because she's sitting in the gold medal position with 2 attempts, so she's in a strong position here because she's just really up against Turdieva now.
Well, Turdieva, this lift would be extremely important for her to try and re-establish herself as Russians' #1 lifter. And
Mikhaili, we've got a moment or two, so just to remind everybody, if you are tuning in for the first time, new International Weightlifting Federation rules. Body weights no longer determine the placings or the medals. It's all down to who gets there first. You can elaborate on that.
That's right. The only thing the body weights are any good for these days is weighing in to make the category. Once the lifter is in the category, that's as far as the body weights go. We're then on to, quite simply, who makes the lift first. So at the moment, nobody has achieved 101. This would, if successful, put Tima Turdieva of Russia into the lead.
And that means that, in fact, she's had 2 failures now, and that means Loredana Toma has won the gold medal for Romania in the snatch with her first attempt of 100 kilos. She's got 2 more attempts.
Well, she already has a 2-kilo advantage, and this is not what we expect from Turdieva. She's normally so consistent. But here, just lacking that explosion, lacking that real power through the middle phase of the lift. There's a bit of a swing on it. Can't hold it from going out the back door.
Now, of course, this is really interesting, isn't it? Because now this gives Toma a chance to try and pull away. And the relevance of it is, if you look at, for example, Alieva or Turdieva and Toma, they've all posted 120 for their opening clean and jerks. Now, this extra 4 kilos here would really be in Toma's favour.
Well, an extra 4 kilos would give us 6-kilo advantage going into the clean and jerk. So this really is a pivotal lift in this competition. Well, she still has 1 more go, but she knows the importance of this lift. Clearly a weight she feels comfortable with. And you see the frustration in her face right now.
Yeah, she looks so strong on the first attempt.
Does. Backside just lifts up a little as the bar comes off the floor. That was enough to put her onto her toes.
Really good lifting day for the women here yesterday. This competition, though, maybe not quite as competitive as what we had yesterday, but the clean and jerk will certainly bring perhaps 1 or 2 others into play. Maybe end up fighting for a bronze medal, but just really rather depends on who makes and who does not make their lifts.
Consistency is everything. If you expect to medal, then you've got to be hitting at least 3 out of 3 lifts ideally. 1 out of 3, well, it's not going to be good enough to be pushing for top spot, I wouldn't have thought.
Warm-up room, and Romanian coaches, well, they know as well as Loredana knows that this is a great opportunity. She also competed last year in the Qatar Cup, one of the prestigious cup competitions, And, well, she snatched 102 kilos there, but she snatched 106 kilos in Eilat in getting the silver medal in the under-23 division. So clearly, this is a weight she can manage. So this is really important for her. This could really make the difference between the overall title and missing out yet again and ending up with either a silver or a bronze. Big moment, big opportunity. Let's hope she takes it. Well, only time will tell, Michaela, those two failures, how expensive they might be. She's certainly not out of it, but...
Well, she's your gold medalist from the snatch, that's without doubt. 2 kilos is the lead that she has going into the clean and jerk. The question is that going to be enough? And we see here, better extension, this time to arm's length. Just not quite enough.
So, as you say, she does take the snatch gold ahead of Alieva, 98 kilos. That's a 2-kilo deficit. Turieva, 97. Then Hulpan, the second of the Romanians. Here you have the situation before you. And there, in 5th place there, Irene Martinez from the B group there. A useful 95 kilos earlier in the day. Sarah Davis down in 8th place. A lot to do. So we're going to take a little break and then we'll come back to set up the clean and jerk. Well, here in Split, the women are now halfway through their warm-up process, at least those who are going to start early. So a chance for us to bring you up to date with the medalists from the first half of the competition. We're going to see them in reverse order, beginning with Tima Turieva of Russia. Tima Turieva, 24 years of age and world champion back in 2013. She's been quite an achiever. And so Turieva, 97 kilos, but 2 lost opportunities, Michaela.
Yeah, really disappointing. We normally expect consistency from Turieva.
And Tatiana Leva now on stage. Now opened up at 95 kilos, then had a miss at 98. This is 98 kilos, so a decent recovery. And, you know, she's been off the stage. She only came back into the sport a year ago.
Yeah, really good lifting, really good recovery. She's there in silver medal position. She's there or thereabouts, just 2 kilos off the lead.
And... of course, Toma. Now, this is a Romanian you're familiar with. You've seen her for quite a few years now. 58 kilos. It's very much a category which you can relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. I competed 58 and 63, so I've seen Loredana Toma. Well, she's been lifting for many, many years. Very, very experienced lifter, but only 100 kilos that we can see here. Was the successful on her first attempt. She attempted 104 twice, failed both of them, one out the back door, one out the front. So she's left on 100. Good enough for the gold.
But interesting that Turieva and Alieva and also Toma all posted entry totals of 225 kilos, so very much in the same territory. But of course it is Toma, as you can see, with the results of the first half of the competition, with a 2-kilo advantage over Alieva, and Turieva with a 3-kilo deficit. Sarah Davis of Great Britain, well, she's a full 10 kilos behind. Tough company for her. She needs 3 out of 3 in the clean and jerk. So still the best part of 4 minutes to go. We'll desert you, not for too long. We will be back for the whole of the... Well, welcome once again to Split in Croatia. We're just about to get underway with the women's 63-kilo final, the Championship of Europe. We're at the halfway stage. Michaela Breeze, together with myself, David Goldstrom, and Romania in the lead. 8 athletes in this particular category, including Britain's Sarah Davis, but we're going to begin now with one of two Finnish athletes. This is Sara Leskinen, and Sara Leskinen, well, this is very much part of her education. She only got 1 out of 3 in the first half of the competition. She's down in 12th place, all of 16 kilos off the lead. But this is all about personal targets for her. Hails originally from Jyväskylä in the central part of Finland.
A very strong clean, clearly super strong in the legs, but chooses the power jerk as her preferred method for the second phase of the lift. Most lifters will be splitting front foot, 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back. You see here, stands out with a clean with relative ease. If you've got this amount of leg strength, surely you want to be pushing a bit more.
Seventh in Europe last December in the under-23 category. Lives these days in Turku, where apart from weightlifting, she actually is involved in design, product to furniture design, but she got into this sport from gymnastics, rhythmic gymnastics originally, but more recently from CrossFit. And like so many people from CrossFit, got in and then discovered with the weightlifting that she actually wanted to do it, you know, more and more with the heavier weights.
Well, that may well explain the positions that we're seeing CrossFitters these days. If they want to be any good with it, they need to be able to lift like an Olympic weightlifter. They need to be fast, explosive, and lift with precision.
So the bar going up for the Ukrainian. And this is going to be Maria Timoshuk. She's another of the lifters who's moving up a weight category this year. A lot of these women in their early 20s, but this young lady is actually only 17 years of age. So she's the baby of the class in terms of age, but already has shown some talent. 5th in the Junior Europeans at 58 kilos last December. So a former European youth champion at 58 kilos, but now tackling 63 kilos. 105 kilos on the bar, first attempt. Well, 2 power jerks in a row.
Well, it's not very often you see one, let alone 2. Both lifters very strong overhead. I just struggle to see how this is anything like an optimal lift. They're very strong, so why not push yourself that bit more? They can clearly clean more. If they were able to jerk in the split position or even catch the power jerks lower, then they'd have a chance of lifting so much more. It's an awfully long way for the bar to travel.
Yeah, and that's the point, isn't it? I mean, the margin for error power jerking is very slim compared with a traditional split jerk.
I'd say the squat jerk, the margin for error is very slim. On a power jerk, the problem with it is you've got to get the bar so much higher. Therefore, you've got to be driving so much more. But, you know, when you're on a maximum weight and you physically cannot drive it very high, you need to be getting lower and lower. These girls have almost too much leg strength for that technique.
I mentioned actually that she came from gymnastics. She actually still coaches gymnastics. She's one of a new generation of Finnish lifters that we've seen in the last couple of seasons.
Well, we've just seen Leskinen here go from 98 kilos up to 107. This is a big increase. It's not going to be enough to put her in the lead. There's still lifters from the B group who have been better. This now will test her legs.
Well, eventually stand still, and 2-1 against. So let's have a look at what the central and right-hand referees. She was convinced she'd done enough. So, here we go.
Well, let's have a look. Clean's good. No problems there. Watch your elbows. Not from this angle, we can't see it.
You've got to be head-on this. I mean, it's really frustrating when you don't get head-on split decisions.
Well, she's going to be forced to come out for 107 again on a third attempt. 2 minutes to recover. The clock is on 1:30 already. You can see the action backstage. This is where the lifters are warming up. The table on the right-hand side of the screen as we look at it. It's where each athlete will have their own card. It's down to the coaches to nominate the weight changes there. It's an easy 95 kilos from Toma. She's taking her time with the warm-up due to open her campaign on 120. Keenan now coming out for her third and final attempt, 107 kilos. She thought the second attempt was good. We didn't get the luxury of the replay, so let's see if she can execute when it really matters.
Well, plenty of noise and support. To be honest, it's all coming from teammates rather than spectators who've been very poor in attending so far at these championships. So the noise coming from her teammates.
Well, it was not the tidiest of power jerks. Feet went all over the place. But this time the bar travels to arm's length and the referees are happy.
Yeah, and she ends on a total of 191, which, let's put it in context, early in the day, because we didn't mention the B group in detail, but Irene Martinez of Spain collected 95 kilos in the snatch earlier in the day, 105 in the clean and jerk, for a total of 200, and she is, so to speak, the leader in the clubhouse at this moment in time. So the 17-year-old Ukrainian out now. She successfully started on 105, 4-kilo increase here to 109 kilos.
Well, 3 lifters now have chosen to opt for the power jerk position. Probably haven't seen that many so far this week across all the categories. Very dynamic, uses the bounce at the bottom to keep the bar moving before standing. Feet are very wide, pretty solid overhead.
Now, I did mention there were 2 Romanians in the competition, and this is Florina Sorina Hulpan. Hulpan at the halfway stage, lying in 4th place in the snatch rankings, 4 kilos adrift.
No, that's one of the best lifts we've seen. Very, very efficient. Has to work hard. 110 kilos. It's not a weight to be sniffed at. It's enough to go up into the lead. So Florina Hulpan of Romania moves herself up the rankings.
So the second of the Finns I can see there she's got her fingers taped from cutting on the bar in the snatch phase. And this is Annie Vuohi-Joki, a medical student, but this afternoon very much a weightlifter based out of Helsinki.
Ooh, right on her heels, does well to stand. Hips disappeared to one side as she dropped under the bar, but it was at arm's length, and that's good enough. One of the referees wasn't happy though, but that's irrelevant. 2-1 majority.
Came for the world of powerlifting. Didn't like that much. And again, it's frustrating at this angle, isn't it? Because it's not quite head on.
Looked okay to me.
Yeah. And Annie, just in the first year of that long campaign to become a doctor, 5-6 years of study, it's one of the biggest commitments you can make as a student. Now the
Really?
all right, so the jury have reversed that decision, which can only mean that they think there was a press out there.
It looked okay to me. As you did say, though, the angle that we got on the replay wasn't dead head on, but...
So, disappointment there. She's going to have to come out 111 kilos on the bar, no lift. Be nice to see that again, you know, to see it from the right angle and be able to comment on it.
Well, the clock is only on 1:30. She would be wise to take another 30 seconds before coming out. The adrenaline is obviously kicking in and she wants to go, but body needs to recover as well. You can see she's still breathing heavily.
.90 kilos from the first half of the competition, which was a new personal best by a couple of kilos. This is 5 kilos up on her previous personal best, so she is fighting for new numbers.
All forwards this time, recovers. Arms are no problem.
I think that was fine.
Well, frustrated somewhat from the fact the jury overruled the first decision, but she's back into the competition.
And now Great Britain's Sarah Davis, originally from Preston, former Miss Leeds, and coached by the man who inspired her to get involved in the sport, Jack Oliver. Biggest achievement so far, winning the under-23 European Championship back in 2015, and that was a breakthrough for British women's lifting.
Well, very impressive overhead, nice and solid. You can hear Dave Sawyer on the side there shouting, dip straight. And she certainly did that. Andy Callard is the other guy coaching. These guys have been around for many, many years, both as athletes and coaches. You can see there why they're saying dip straight. Her hips do disappear backwards somewhat. It's pretty good.
So Sarah Davis at this moment in time pulling herself up into overall second behind Romania's Florina Hulpan. That's in the overall total at the moment, and Timoshuk now coming out for her third attempt, 113 kilos. 3 good lifts in the first half of the competition, 2 good ones so far. And the commentator's curse, I'm afraid, coming in there because that attempt just evaporated out of her head.
Well, the loaders have come on,
yeah.
They shouldn't have done. Basically, the bar has not passed the knees, therefore it doesn't count as an attempt. The clock is still running. She still has time. Just over 20 seconds remaining. I think the coaches have said 1 or 2 things, something along the lines of get back out there and lift it. Come on, then. It's not in the head. No. Doesn't believe it.
No.
Well, that finishes her early evening's attempt. Left on 201 kilos. Let's put that in a bit of perspective because she's a lifter who's moved up for the first time to 63 kilos. So making new numbers from a youth European champion. 5th in the Junior Europeans last December, so only 17 more to come. And now Florina Hulpan, the current overall leader. Hulpan, Junior European champion last December in Eilat. She's actually won a Junior European title at a heavier weight class as well.
I'm very impressed by Hulpan, looking extremely solid. It's 114 kilos. She's up into the lead.
She went to the Olympics in Rio. She's only 20 years of age. Unfortunately, she didn't get a total there. But clearly, the Romanians thinking that, you know, she's got something to offer in years to come. And Sarah Davis out again now. 115, so this represents a 3 kilo increase. Now this is creeping close to her personal best, not at it yet, but not far away.
Best ever of 116, just 1 kilo shy of that. Well, that was better. The timing much, much better this time. And she's got the down signal. Nothing wrong with that lift. Well done, Sarah.
Yeah,
and 1 attempt remaining. She could well be going PBs here.
Yeah, which is very good. But that whole second attempt was significantly better than the first one.
It was. If you watch here, the speed getting underneath the bar was far better than the first. First attempt just pulled too much with the arms, really. Held on to it at the top. Really solid second.
So out for a third attempt now. This is Annie Vorhioki. Third attempt at 116 kilos. And this is definitely new territory for her. 5 kilo increase, so this is significant to try and get herself up to 206 kilos. Sarah Davis is already there, so she can't overtake the British lifter in the ranking.
Well, I would have failed that even if it had gone to arm's length. No. Deliberate oscillation. That may be what the jury failed her for on the first attempt. It was evident on the second, but not as bad. But you can't get away with whipping the bar on your shoulders like that. So So clean was good, but watch the bar bending and whipping on her shoulders. Here she's trying to use this momentum to her advantage. You're not allowed to do it.
So Florina Hulpan out for her third attempt, 117 kilos. So another 3 kilo increase for her to take her to 213, just at this moment in time enhancing her total.
Ooh, drops her chest, does well to recover. So good overhead so far. Can she do it again? 3 from 3.
Yeah, she's a little bit down on her overall expectations, but that's largely because in the first half of the competition she missed at 90 kilos the snatch, and that's sort of limited as she was aiming to get to around 220, and 213. It's not bad by any means. 213. She lifted 206 in the Junior Europeans, and a couple of seasons ago when she was lifting as a 69 kilo lifter, 222. So Hulpan, a promising lifter for the future. Sarah Davis now. So where are we? 118. New personal best attempt. These are crucial moments in a lifter's career.
Oh, come on then, Sarah.
Big effort.
Needs to keep pushing, stand still.
Yeah, she's there.
She's got it.
Yeah,
Great lifting.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Oh.
2-1 against now. This we'd have to see from the front to really understand what those judges were about, because left and right suggests they're both seeing a press out on an arm, and
I think that was good. I'm fairly sure the jury have stopped the competition as well.
Yeah, because I mean the helicopter move here, you see she turns on a straight angle, so I don't see how the left-hand judge can make a judgment. And again, I'm really apologise, but that's the awful angle. That's just impossible.
It's good to see the body positions, but what we need to see right now is the arm lock. There we are. The jury have overruled the decision, so it is a good lift. They didn't see any infringement on the rules, so 3 out of 3 for Sarah Davis. Congratulations, new personal best.
Tatiana Arieva, Russian Federation, best attempt. 120. Loredana Toma is next year.
Tatiana Arieva of Russia, 120 first attempt. That catapults her straight up into the lead, into the gold medal position on the clean and jerk and the total. 2 lifters remaining, still yet to begin. Because she's already hit that 120, that means the others, if they're going to go into the lead, will need to take an extra kilo. Tima Turieva has done that. 121 is the weight we're expecting next. Really powerful in her first attempt. So, Tima Turieva, 121, first attempt.
Now, Alieva, 98 kilos at the halfway stage. Turieva. You would expect her to make a bit of progress, Turieva, in this second half of the competition. And Turieva, well, it totals her up to 218 kilos, but as you explained, it was Alieva who got there first, and that means that Alieva maintains the higher ranking position. In the clean and jerk, however, because Turieva 121 kilos, she actually leads the clean and jerk. So now Toma, who was the winner of the gold medal in the snatch race, had 2 opportunities to get a 6-kilo advantage, was unable to take that opportunity, and now she's coming out here to open up here on 121 kilos. Now she carries forward a 2-kilo advantage from the first half.
Oh, easy.
And she doesn't mess about either.
Well,
it looks slightly staggering, so I'm just wondering whether she really got on with that and puts herself into the lead. She's got a 3-kilo advantage over Alieva.
To be honest, she still looks a little bit cheesed off with what happened in the snatch phase. You just see the manner in which she disposed of the bar, put it down with some aggression, as if to say, right, I'm in control.
So Toma of Romania, 221. Alieva, Russia, 218. Tima Turieva, 218. And Toma, although she leads, still Turieva has the lead in the clean and jerk because she, under the new rules and regulations, got to 121 kilos first.
Well, I think the tactics now that we're likely to see is that Toma will probably just follow whatever Turieva attempts. All she needs to do is match her, and she stays comfortably ahead.
There's the state of play, as you can see. Hulpan of Romania. Everybody else has really finished now. It's down to these 3. And Alieva, the champion of Russia in this women's 63-kilo category this year, 2017. She's got a personal best of 130 kilos in the clean and jerk. That's what she did in the nationals.
Oh, she was on her toes at the bottom, very strong in the legs to stand. Ooh, what do we think of that?
Well,
left arm as we look at it, questionable.
Yeah, absolutely iffy. No. And the unanimous decision of all 3 referees there is a red light. Now.
So let's have a look. The clean is, although slightly wobbly at the bottom, there's no technical problems with it or infringement of the rules. Watch the elbows, the left as we see it. Definite press out. The arm went to lock, came out, went back to lock. That's not allowed. It has to go there in one continuous movement. And that's how strict the refereeing is. So Alieva will be taking the same weight again, I'm sure, 124. This is the weight that is necessary to go into the lead. She will then be able to sit back and watch and wait for the others. Well, she's gone to 125. This will really do nothing other than buy her a little bit more time in terms of recovery. So while the loaders are on the platform, the clock will stop. But they were on and off lightning quick.
Yeah, actually, all credit to the loaders. When we first came here, they were, by comparison with a lot of loaders we've had over the years, they were actually a bit pedestrian, but they really have speeded up and learnt the job, so all credit to them.
Yeah, it's great. It's great for the loaders to be that quick. It means the competition can flow. However, when you're a lifter, you often want the loaders to take their time, give you a bit more time to recover, but they're certainly not allowing that now. So Alieva, well, she did all the hard work. She's expended a lot of energy on that previous attempt. And she's using the full 2 minutes here to recover. Give me a whiff of that, she says. Smelling salts, a bit of ammonium sulfate. That'll clear the head.
Well, important she makes this because you can never be sure what's going to happen to the others. And
well, one thing we know is she's guaranteed a medal, currently in the silver medal position.
But this is a 5-kilo increase, so this would give her a total of 223. She'd then be 2 kilos ahead of Toma. And she would have done all she could. Now, needs to get the clean. That's a much better clean. Every chance. And there it is. And that was all made because the start was so good.
126, please.
So she will be kicking herself because of that second attempt failure there, because that really did limit her. And you know, I think she's strong enough to go more kilos than this.
Well, it's irrelevant. On the day, you've got to be able to pull it out the bag when it matters. She made a mistake on the second attempt. She's done well to rectify it here. She can do no more but sit, wait and watch.
So, Toma, is this going to be her day, I wonder? Despite missing those two opportunities in the first half of the competition to give herself a cushion of advantage, she's still very, very much a player. Now, the bar for her has gone up 5 kilos to 126. This would put her into first place overall, 226. And, of course, it would also give her the lead in the clean and jerk. And she still would have one further attempt. Wow.
A ridiculous amount of leg strength. Loredana Toma of Romania making that look comfortable. There's more there.
Yeah, but she's got to win this, and Turieva, the much more experienced athlete, the former world champion, an athlete who's won the European title, sprinting on the stage as you see the slow-mo.
Let's just put this in perspective. Toma now lifting at the heavier category of 63. She's done a best of 118 in the lighter category. So this is big steps into unknown territory for Toma.
Now, she's got 226 now. Turieva is catching up, or trying to.
Under pressure here. Well, I tell you what, this is a lifter that once upon a time clean and jerked 148. Yeah, I said that correctly. Just heavier than this category. 148 she's had overhead. She's struggling right now with a 127. Watch the replay. Buries her at the bottom, manages to stand. And here, just unable to drive the bar high enough.
Well, the situation is that, you know, she's going up 6 kilos, but 218 plus 6 makes 224. So, unless you put the bar up even more, Toma has got this. She is the champion.
I reckon the Romanian coaches have just watched Turieva miss that lift and thought, no chance. And I agree with them. I don't think Turieva has this 127 in her, in which case Toma will be victorious with one attempt remaining.
Yeah, but even if you do the maths here, 6 kilos, 218, that's 224. And, you know, Toma's got 226. She's there.
This would go ahead on the clean and jerk, though.
Yeah. But, of course, like most people, we always concentrate on the most valuable medal, which is the overall championship title. So, consolation prize, it might be.
Well, 7 seconds on the clock. Needs to get a move on. 3,
2.
1.
Oof.
Needs to stand. Again, it's a big struggle. How much is this taken out of her legs?
Well, there's your answer. Far too much. Management wasn't very good. And Romania have the title in the shape and form of Loredana Elena Toma. And she is the champion of the women's 63 kilo class, defeating both Russians. And now, having been a European champion, silver medalist, or I should say a European silver medalist at 58 kilos in 2013 and again in 2014, and a former European youth champion, now she's got the European title and she's basically got a lift for fun. 130 kilos, so she's looking here for a total of 230 kilos, which will be a significantly new personal best. She did 2:22 in the Qatar Cup. She did 2:22 in Eilat in the under-23s. So this illustrates the progress that Toma is making at the age of just 21.
Gone busy. That's a shame.
It was, because that was actually the best of the cleans.
So easy. There's not much you can do as a lifter when you stand up and everything around you closes in. It's safer to just let the bar go. You don't want to be passing out with that kind of weight on your shoulders.
But she is the champion nonetheless, and Romania take the overall gold from Russia, who take silver and bronze. And in the individual disciplines, well, the medals, well, Toma, gold in the snatch, gold in the clean and jerk, and overall gold. Alieva, well, silvers across the board. Turieva, bronzes all the way. And delighted. Well, I can understand her delight. You know, when you've been runner-up and that close so many times, you finally nail it. It was a little like Joanna Wachowska yesterday in the women's 53. We're going to take a little break. Those are the standings for the clean and jerk. Back after this. Well, Mikhailo, it didn't really have the sort of sparkiness of yesterday's two women's competitions, but nonetheless, a worthy winner in Loredana Toma. And also Sarah Davis from Great Britain, new personal best, 5th. The highest ranking she's achieved in the Senior European Championship. She should be pleased with that.
Absolutely. 208 kilos in the 63 kilo category. She's done really well here. Come out and achieve personal best on a big platform when it matters. So it's a sign that the injury is behind her from last year. It gives her a chance now to really establish herself in this category.
Yeah, and of course, just to mention, of course, no Zoe Smith at the moment, recovering from surgery.
That's right, shoulder surgery, hurt her shoulder at the British Championships last year, just before the Olympic Games. So let's wish Zoe a speedy recovery. I believe she is now lifting. It's just a case of building up and making sure she does it steady over a period of time and not rushing that rehab.
But Toma, just 21 years of age, and obviously delighted. Medal table. Day 3, and you can see the first page there. Good variety of countries from Western and Central and Eastern Europe there, all collecting medals, and still plenty of other countries with opportunities to get onto the medal roster. And just getting ready for the medal ceremony. Podiums are out.
Okay.
And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the victory ceremony in women's 63.
So Alieva, followed by, well, a crestfallen Turieva there.
2013.
So the medal ceremony is, as ever, in the order, first for the overall championship. Well, that was a very tardy walk, wasn't it, onto the podium there. And you can see there she's truly dissatisfied with herself there. Knows she can do better. She doesn't collect bronze medals, she collects gold medals.
So far down on anything she's achieved before. I've got to be asking questions, why is that?
Alieva, the national champion, I think she might be relatively satisfied with her comeback into European Championship form. But the champion of Europe, women's 63 kilos, 10 stone, almost 139 pounds, and it's 21-year-old Loredana Elena Toma of Romania, who will now enjoy the national anthem of her country.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to one of the winner's flags and the national anthem of Romania. Thank you very much.
Well, that's the medal that the champion craves, but of course there are discipline medals. There is a value to these, Michaela, particularly in a lot of the smaller weightlifting nations, because they attract government support, financial support for the sport.
Well, I think they absolutely are. You know, we deserve to have these medals. If you look at a sport like gymnastics, you have medals for individual apparatus and then the overall, the all-round. So same here. You know, you could have a lifter that excels in one discipline, but not so much in the other, or they're consistent across the board. And in this case, the lifters that we are seeing, they will be picking up gold, silver and bronzes, 3 of each. It's just a shame that they don't have that rule still for the Commonwealth Games and Olympic Games.
And it's 3 gold medals that Toma is collecting, well, now this evening.
Thank you very much. Step down,
When you consider the missed attempts, you know, I mean, she missed 3 attempts, so only a 50% performance there, so plenty of room for improvement.
Oh, there absolutely is. But the good thing is these lifters, you know, have been pushed. They've all been pushed in different ways today, and I think for Toma this is unknown territory. She's now moved up to this category from 58, so it will take time to establish herself. She's been testing the boundaries and has done exceptionally well.
There's a sense of satisfaction on her face there. And that brings to a close the women's 63 kilo category, but much more to come tonight.